I've come back to High Stand Woods again, and it's just gone midday. It's still really cold, probably just above freezing point. There's ice everywhere. Have seen one or two mushrooms about, but nothing that's really sort of like interested me to get the camera out on them. So at the moment I'm trying to concentrate on a little bit of landscape, and if you've watched some of my other videos, I really do struggle with getting landscape images. I find it probably one of the hardest things to do, the same as say like arranging people for portraits. The breezes start to pick up here as well now, so it's really bitterly cold. If you can get out the breeze, it's actually quite nice. I'm one of these people that I will see a place like this and think it looks amazing and there's images here. So I have tried to use these overhanging trees as a frame, and also using this bench in the picture as well. My real biggest problem is the sky to expose for everything in the foreground, where it's actually quite dark in here. It's a massive difference for the sky, so you get burnout. I have taken some images to expose for the sky as well as the foreground, and I really don't think, I really do struggle with blending them together to get a good image with the version of sort of like Photoshop and that I have. We've got, I don't know whether it shows on the camera here, we've got these blue ropes hanging down here, and the same as this one over here. So I did actually start off on this side, again using the tree as a frame there, and I think I did a square image picture, but I just found that you're looking sort of like into nothing. There wasn't the interest there. But what I've now done on the camera here, I've now gone into portrait mode, just use the edge of the tree here as the frame on the left hand side, and the top branch to frame the top. And we've got a little bit of interest down here at the bottom, going into the water there, and then going through the image to the benches on the end. The breeze has really picked up a lot more on here, so it's really reflecting a lot of light on there. And it just shows as well that a matter of probably 5 minutes, with that breeze picking up, the water has just changed so much. So the ideal picture here would be where it's really no breeze whatsoever. I've walked into the woods further, just found these odd little tracks coming through here, and I think I've come across sort of almost like mushroom heaven here. So there are literally mushrooms all over this trunk, all around the bottom here. Carefully trying to place my tripod to not dislodge anything. They're literally growing wherever they possibly can, and there's some real diddy ones on the bottom here, and the bottom there. And this side you then tend to get, there's a few there on the floor, but you tend to get a lot bigger ones on this side. But the hardest bit is getting the camera into the required position, and it's more, the hardest part really is to make sure I'm not going to dislodge any of the mushrooms that are around on the bottom here. So I have taken a few images of these three here. The annoying bit is there's some broken bits around the other side there, which are like extra mushrooms coming out of the trunk there. I've done this one on its own. And I've done that one on its own as well in the middle there. When I decide to move the camera, first of all is get the lights out of the way so that I've got as much free space as possible. Fortunately, they've got a nice big flat trunk on the top there to put things on, and I can then just make sure where I'm standing on the bottom here, look which mushroom I want to photograph and see where I need to place the camera, and from there I can then try and work out. I've got some mushrooms in there that I've got to be careful of, but I can lower that leg to take the camera down there, which gives me roughly the angle I want. Again, watching where I'm putting the legs this side and extending the legs to support this side. Now, fortunately, I've got the camera fairly well low down on the column, so I do have a bit of movement on here. The setup I've done here is I've got the camera in fairly close, right under the mushroom here, and I've got my warm light on the top here, and it's really to bring light into the stem and not so much on the top. I've got a backlight to try and get the light from at the back there, but the problem I was having was as soon as I set the camera up, the background, because of the sky, was just totally white. So I brought my rucksack in, being black, to really darken out that background, and I took one or two images which I really liked it, but I just thought perhaps I could just try something a little bit different, and that's why I've turned my other LED light here green to give a green effect on the back of the rucksack there. And I really do like that image, but the only problem I've got at the moment, which I didn't have a problem to start with, is literally in the underneath the fungi there, right at the very top, I've got a maggot or some form of a slug in there photobombing my image, and I don't have an issue with it, but it's started moving now, which is really annoying because it's ruining the focus stack on this. Been here probably 3 hours. I've walked no more than probably 400 or 500 yards away from the car. My first stop was those landscape images, which was probably only about 200 or 300 yards away from the car, and I've only walked probably another 100 yards or so into the woods here for where I've found all these fungi. And because the fungi take just so much time to set up, especially adjusting the lighting, getting the tripod all in the right position, and then doing all the photo stacking does take quite a bit of time. And that's really where all my time has gone today. It's now 3 o'clock. It's getting quite cold again. Light is starting to go. Sunset is going to be within an hour. I mean, it's already quite overcast anyway. Thanks a lot for watching. And then the camera falls over.